This 1994 Oldsmobile Silhouette is the first generation of this car. It has a galvanized steel space frame and composite plastic body panels. So it is a very unique feature to this vehicle because you could not put dents or minor dinks on it. However, if you hit it hard enough, you could crack the panel. So these composite body panels is what makes this car very unique. And you can listen up. It doesn't sound like steel. Nevertheless, it is a very durable material. Let's now go ahead and take a closer look at this car.
Oldsmobile Silhouette was an American minivan designed and manufactured by General Motors in order to compete with Chrysler's minivans that at the time had the near monopoly on the market. Chrysler minivans at the time were rear-wheel drive, while the first Oldsmobile Silhouette was a front-wheel drive. When in 1989 General Motors minivans manufactured their first minivan under 3 different names, that is Oldsmobile Silhouette, Pontiac Transport, and Chevrolet Lumina APV, they immediately brought a serious competition to Chrysler minivans. First generation of Oldsmobile Silhouette began on August 1st, 1989 for the model year of 1990, and it ended in 1996. In 1997, the second generation came. Then the second generation ended in 2004, which is also when General Motors discontinued the Oldsmobile brand. Oldsmobile Silhouette was also sold in Europe from 1990 until 1996 under the Pontiac Transport name. Until 1993, the European version was the same as the US version, except of the tail lights, where the European version had the orange amber blinkers. European version has received a 2.3-liter 4-cylinder engine, and in 1995 it has received a 1.9-liter turbo diesel engine to cope with Europe's higher gas prices. It was available there with a 5-speed manual transmission. Oldsmobile Silhouette is General Motors' first luxury minivan. It is a unique and distinguishable vehicle that is nicknamed Dustbuster by some and Spaceship by the others. The first generation of the Oldsmobile Silhouette was available with 3 engines in the US market. The second available engine, the 3800 marked in red, was made by Buick and it was known as very reliable. It was the mighty GM Buick 3800 engine, and that is the power plant our Oldsmobile has. The other 2 available engines, marked in green, are here for comparison purposes. This 3.8 liter was a V6 engine available as option for model years 1992 through 1995. It produced about 170 horsepower at 4800 RPM and about 225 feet-pounds of torque at 3200 RPM. With this engine, the car weighed just over 3,800 pounds, had a gross vehicle weight rating, which is the total allowable maximum weight of the car, of 5,126 pounds. And it was rated of 3,000 pounds towing capacity. It could get to 60 miles an hour in just about 10.5 seconds. Well, let's see how this holds up after 27 years. I normally hate doing these kinds of tests with classic cars, but this one time, for the world's record keeping, here it goes!
Speed of 60 miles now. So there you have it.
The first generation Silhouette could reach a max speed of about 122 miles per hour. There will be no test with this one. Its 3.8 liter engine consumed about 17 miles per gallon in the city, 25 miles per gallon on highway, and about 20 miles per gallon in combined driving. The car's length is at 194.2 inches, its width is at 73.9 inches, and its height is at 65.7 inches.
Let's take a look at the keys and the key fob in here. You have a round key for your doors and a square key for your ignition. And the key fob here has the unlock and lock option. And those Oldsmobiles that have the sliding door that are automatic also have a button in here. You press it, the sliding door just opens. It was an option, and this model was not supplied with this option. But if you would like to lock your car with the doors open, then look, you get the warning something is wrong. But if you press it again, it's gonna lock it anyway.
But check this out.
If you try to lock your car with your door opened, you get this beep. But if you close your door now, the car will lock by itself in just a few seconds. Look. And it just did. Now you can get in. It's a good thing to know about, so you won't lock your keys inside accidentally. Also note that when your vehicle is locked and you press the unlock button, only the driver's door got unlocked. You will have to press this button again to get the other doors opened up. Of course, you can always lock or unlock your door with the round key. Just put it to the lock and turn it. Turning the key counterclockwise location would lock it. There is also a keyhole in the liftgate, sliding door, and the passenger door. Power sliding door here was an option available from 1994, and if a car was supplied with this extra option, then you would see a button somewhere around here that will allow you to open the door by pushing it. And this power sliding door was GM's innovation. They were the very first who started using it in minivans, and then everybody else joined in.
The sliding door has a child security lock preventing it from being opened from inside.
Right here you have a sticker, it says child security lock. It is right in here. And so if you will engage it upward, it is now set to on. So if I close this door, notice that anybody from behind wouldn't be able to open the door now. See? If I want to open it, nothing.
The door won't open from inside, no matter if it's locked or unlocked.
So all you have to do now is to come out.
And if the door is unlocked, you can open it from the outside.
And you can also turn child security off from within the car too if you want to. All you will have to do is to just put your hand in here and push it all the way down. Alright, all the way down. Now if I close the door, I can open it. That's how child security lock works.
Let's take a look at our overhead console here. You can see you have a little display here that shows you the current temperature and also the compass that shows you the direction you're heading. No matter how hard I tried to spin around, I couldn't get the compass to show west, east or south, north. You can turn it off if you wish, or turn it on. You can change from US to metric. Now here you have your reading lights, and you can turn them on or off. And then here you can put your garage door opener, and then you can close it and then open your garage with this button. Here, if you're cool enough, you can put your sunglasses in. And lastly here you have just a storage compartment. Maybe you can put your wallet there or something. Alright, it has this little rubbery piece in case that thing you put in there was to fall out and hit somebody in their face. Maybe they deserve it though. For the model year of 1994, GM started adding automatic sliding door as an option. If you had it, you would have 2 extra buttons on the overhead console to open, close or disable the sliding door. So that's your overhead console. We just consulted. Further down the ceiling here, you have these 2 lights in here, as you can see. And the one here toward the end can be also controlled by the passengers. So you can press this button and this light will come on, and they could also read something if they wanted to. The center mirror has a button here allowing you to switch the position should somebody follow you with the long beam lights behind you. Sun visors have a mirror, so you can do your makeup if you want to while you drive or something. And if the sun would try to attack you through the side windows, you can always put your sun visor to the side to protect your eyes. Now here where your center console is, you have those 3 options here. This option here allows you to turn all the interior lights on as soon as you open the door, or keep it off. This way of course it will drain your battery, this way it wouldn't. Here is your cigarette lighter, old school. And then here you can control your climate on the back. See, if you turn the air conditioning, then you can have it off, low, medium or on high on the back. And then on the back you can see it comes out through those vents right there. There are 2 on each side, so 4 on that panel there, and then there's 1 here and then 2 on the other side there too. So this way your passengers wouldn't get too sweaty, and you wouldn't want that, would you? For the model year of 1994, traction control has become an option to prevent your car's wheels from spinning. The traction control could be turned on or off with a switch that would normally be located to the left of the interior light switch. This model is not equipped with the traction control, which is why we don't see that switch. And toward the bottom of your center console you have some storage compartments. 1 in here, you can slide something in there if you wish to. You also have your cigarette ashtray, standard feature of the cars from the 90s. The ashtray can be removed if it requires cleaning, and if you spilled your coffee or bourbon, you can easily remove the insides from the cup holders and clean it. And then here you have another compartment, so you can put something in there and store it. If you wish, however, you can also lock it. You have 2 keys with your Oldsmobile. The round one is for your locks, so put it in the position as I did, turn it, and now it is locked. Impenetrable locking system from Oldsmobile. Now if you want to open it up, just put the key as I do, turn it,
And then unlock it
Where is my wallet?
and open it back up. On the passenger side, you have another storage compartment that you can open by pressing this button on the side, and then you can store some more stuff in there if you wanted to. And then underneath is your glove compartment, and you can put some more stuff in there. Here are your paint coats. Here are your fuses. On the side here, the passenger has an option to
Open or close the windows, or lock and unlock the doors.
or manually
Unlock the door,
and leave if they wanted to.
which they should. On the driver's door panel,
You can open your windows, and then we can close the window. The same thing we can do with the passenger side here, of course.
and through these windows I can see the side view mirrors. For the model year of 1992 and up, they were changed to the folding type and were enlarged for better visibility. Take a look at this sticker here. It warns you that it is possible to hit yourself in the head with the upper corner of the door if you don't pay attention. And if this sticker is here, you bet it must have happened somewhere out there to somebody. So if you are a daydreamer, walk with closed eyes, or pay attention to nothing, beware of the pointy corners of cars' doors. And for that matter, everything else.
Unlocking, locking. Now that the door is locked, see? I can't open it, but I can simply push this button here. I can now open the door. Every door has a little sliding panel there that you can use to put some stuff in. For example, your Oldsmobile owner's manual could come in there. So if we want to adjust the driver's mirror,
Then twist that knob counterclockwise.
is to adjust it like in any other car. So no specific differences from anything else. And now let's move to our instrument cluster right here.
And right in between there is your steering wheel, which you could use to honk at stuff. And besides joyfully honking at your fellow drivers,
With the lever located right behind the steering wheel, you could easily adjust the angle of your steering wheel to your desire.
the steering wheel also holds an airbag that became a standard for the model year of 1994 and up. Dual airbags, for the driver and passenger, became the law in the US in 1998. Because Oldsmobile Silhouette was marketed as a luxury minivan, besides having leather seats, it also has a front windshield laminated with a UV protective film. Take a look how Silhouette's windshield laminated with the UV protective film compares to some other windshields that do not have it. The purple haze visible on the front windshield is the infrared reflective coating, and its purpose is to remove light reflections to improve the quality of vision. It removes flares caused by sunlight and filters out the UV rays by reflecting most of them back, thus keeping the car cooler inside. To achieve this effect, two pieces of glass with a thin film between are put together to make a windshield.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the radio now.
If the car and ignition are off and you press the volume button, you will get to see the clock for a brief moment. To turn the radio on, turn your ignition on or engine on. And then just twist the upper knob clockwise.
Okay, so I am switching between station so I can avoid this way to get the copyright strike for playing any music that I don't own. But here's the radio station. That's the AM. If you want to switch it to FM, all you have to do is to press this button.
That was very
Okay.
anguishing.
And there you go.
And very sad.
So
That was
if you want
really
to search for radio stations,
sad.
all you will have to do is to turn this knob. See? Thingy station. Station. Alright? And if you would like to scan the radio station, all you can do is this. Let's go back to AM. And look, if you want to scan, you just press this button here and then this button. The scan here shows, and now every station will play for only 5 seconds.
Đặc biệt giới thiệu ghế massage. Bravado. And so it was difficult for me. I really thought about my. 만나보세요. 내가 믿고 사는 세상을 살고 싶. Everywhere you go, it's been. Pick your favorite design.
If you would like to scan upward instead, just go ahead and press this button up and the other one on the left. And now we're scanning up.
/go dogs for important account information insured by NC. TV 통관이라도 누워 잠잘 때는 8자뿐이고. Vì là một công ty chuyên tư vấn về các khoản vay cá nhân để mua nhà đã có mặt tại hầu hết.
Alright, so now that you found the station that you like, say you want to program it. So let's go ahead and just find a station that doesn't have any broadcasting, like this, 690, or maybe 700. If you'd like to program this, all you will have to do is to hit set and then hit a button. So now if I turn this knob and I press this button, it comes back to 700. And you can program all 4 of those buttons in that way. You can actually program extra 2 stations in the following way. Just press the set button. Let's first choose the station maybe. So say I want to program 720. So I press set and I press 2 buttons. And now that I did, see if I change to 740 or 750, and then I'm going to hit those 2 buttons, I'm back to 710. This one button, I'm back to 700. So very easy and very well designed. If you wonder where the antenna is for this radio, then it is between this headliner and the car's roof. That's how they hid it, which is why you don't see it anywhere on the car. So I have a tape in here, and I'm going to put it in now. So here's the tape. And let's hear it out. Very nice. So the tape plays. And if you would like to change the direction of the tape, all you have to do is to press this knob, because it has auto reverse feature. Look. Press it again. And it switched. And you press this button, auto reverse feature comes in.
With this ring here, you can adjust the right speaker balance and the left speaker balance, or you can center it. With this ring, you can adjust the front speaker balance or the rear speaker balance, or you can center it. You can use these buttons to fast forward or rewind.
And here you have your bass, you can adjust that. And your treble. Now, if you would like to change the clock, what you can do here is just press the set button and then keep hitting those. See, for minutes, for hours. You can adjust the clock no matter if the radio is on or off. Look. So the radio is on. You just press set and then there you have it. And you can eject the tape here. And you can turn the radio off by turning the knob all the way to the left until it clicks. Pretty neat little sound system. Sounds great, lots of great bass, lots of great treble if you need to have it. It's all here. Awesome equipment. Not to mention it's 1994 and it still functions great. The speakers do and the radio does as well. All original. Oldsmobile Silhouette.
Starting with the model year of 1992, an option allowing to control the radio directly from the steering wheel was added, although this model is not equipped with it.
Turn your ignition on, of course. Don't kill your battery though by playing music for too long. And then here's your wire. Turn the radio on first. And here's your music.
And now you are a hacker. You hacked the Oldsmobile's audio system with a digital audio track.
And now here you can change the song, of course. So, click. Let's take a look at the climate control now, which are all these buttons right in here. So the story of those actually begins all the way here. The clean air comes right through these vents in here and right to the cabin of your car, so you have to make sure there are no leaves and dirt covering it.
To test the climate control, I will turn the engine on as it can drain a good deal of power. Let's go ahead and press some buttons now. Pressing the recirculate button is the quickest way to cool off your vehicle on hot days. The AC will automatically stay on to condition the air.
Now the air comes out through those vents in here that you can adjust as you see, except the center one. The center one can be on just up and down. And then there's another one here, and then one for the passenger.
And one for the driver. Pressing the upper button is for normal cooling or heating. You may use AC with it, shift the bottom slider to control temperature, or shift the upper slider to control the intensity. The bi-level setting is designed for sunny days when the weather might be moderately cool or moderately warm. On such days, the sun might heat up your upper body, but your lower body might be not warm enough. This rather luxury setting pushes cooler air through the upper vents and warmer air through the lower vents. Adjust the temperature slider for comfort. This setting pushes in most heated air through the heater ducts and some through the defroster vents. It can be used with the air conditioning as well. The defog setting is very useful during cold or inclement weather as it directs warmed air right on the Silhouette's large windshield, removing condensed moisture or fog. It cannot be used with air conditioning. The defrost setting directs most warmed air to the windshield and to the side windows. It is very useful in the winter with removing frost from windshield and side windows. Because air conditioning would not be useful with removing frost from windows, therefore it cannot be used with this setting. This button turns on the rear window defogger grid. It will run for 10 minutes and then turns off automatically. If you press it again, then it will turn off after 5 minutes. Or you can just press it to turn it off.
Also, you have your control for the back passengers right there too.
Here is where the rear vents are located. This button turns off your climate control system.
So how does the cruise control on 1994 Oldsmobile Silhouette work? All you have to do is to choose your desired speed, in our case 45 miles an hour, and then shift this button to the on position from the off position, and then hit the set button. And now that you did that, the car is just going to cruise at 45 miles an hour. If you would like to add some more speed and accelerate, all you have to do is to press this button for half a second at a time. While you do that, the car gets 1 mile for each press. let's press this all the way in, see what happens. The car just accelerates and picks up the speed. And if you would like to decelerate, just press the set button here. What it does, it allows the car to roll in until it slows down to the speed, whatever speed you want, and then you can release it and the car is just going to cruise with that speed. If you would like to turn off the cruise control, just tap the brake. I tap the brake, the cruise control is no longer working. Say that you had to slow down significantly for some reason, right? If that's the case, as long as you're going 25 miles an hour
or above,
you can shift this button here,
And the car is going to retrieve from the cruise control memory the original speed with which it was set up with. So now the car is going back to the original cruising speed by itself.
right? And there you have it. If you would like to turn off the cruise control, just shift this to the left. And now this also erases that cruise control memory, which means your stored speed is no longer there and you will have to set it again if you wanted to. Also, if you stop your car and shift it to the park, that will also erase your cruise control memory. And on your cruise control level, you're supposed to have a couple of more labels, such as on and off. Here it's supposed to be, but it got worn off. And here resume accelerate, besides of the set and cruise. So I wanted to show you that at about 2000 RPM you get about 70 miles an hour, and that is going an incline, in fact, right here on the 20 east. So that is a pretty good cruising speed.
Now that we drove around with the cruise control, you may be wondering about the driving experience.
How does it feel like to drive the 1994 Oldsmobile Silhouette? Well, I'll tell you, it feels fantastic. It's a great car all around. I'm just having so much fun driving it around right now. So it feels like a boat. It bounces a little bit and you can feel it. It steers very smoothly. The steering wheel works just flawlessly, like butter, like sliding a knife on the butter. The car is relatively quiet inside compared to some other cars from the era I have driven. Everything looks nice and clean. The position is pretty high up. It's just fun. The seats are very comfortable to me. They feel cozy compared to some of the modern cars that I've driven today. Some people in the traffic are actually looking at the car because this particular model with this very long nose there is pretty rare. You don't get to see one anymore on the street. Rarely, very rarely. When you see one, they're already kind of worn out and missing pieces, broken pieces and things like that. And see, behind me you have 5 more seats there available should you take 5 more people. So it's a 7-passenger vehicle. So much fun to drive it. The 3.8 liter engine, it feels good, you know. It's not the fastest car by any means, but it's also a heavy car. You know, I have to give it to it.
Definitely a unique and fun experience. What a fun car to drive. There are 7 operational levels with your windshield wipers, with the lowest speed as slow as 20 seconds between cycles, which is great in light rain or snow. Let's start from the highest one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7 levels. So you have 7 different speeds available with your windshield wipers. To use the windshield wiper on the back, just shift this button up. Shift this button up again to the delay mode to slow down the back wiper's operation. Push this button up again to sprinkle the back window and have it washed. press the mist button for 1 windshield cycle. Huh, just stopped raining.
If you press this button, the windshield will be sprinkled on and the windshield wipers will cycle 2 times. And in here we have several different gauges. On the very left we have a voltmeter gauge, then the engine's oil pressure gauge, our tachometer showing our revolutions per minute, speedometer, and our fuel gauge, and also our engine
Coolant
temperature gauge.
At the top is the odometer that counts the car's mileage. It is tamper resistant, so if there would be silver lines between these numbers, it would mean that somebody tried to turn it back. Here is the trip odometer that can be reset.
And here's the button to reset it. So press that button. Oh no! Alright, and then on the bottom here
we have our gear positions. You might be wondering why there are 2 drive positions there. Because the small d is the overdrive, which is a 4th gear good for cruising on highways at high speeds, and the big D allows the transmission to go up to 3rd gear, and it's good for driving in hilly areas or when pulling a trailer. So starting from the top we have our park, then R for reverse, but I don't know what it does because I didn't try it yet. Neutral. Overdrive, which is your normal driving position that goes up to 4th gear. Drive goes up to 3rd gear. Transmission goes only up to 2nd gear. Transmissions drives only on the 1st gear.
And don't play with that on the hill environment because your car can roll down and you can panic.
If you start the engine of your Oldsmobile and open up the tailgate, you will notice a notification light on your dash, letting you know that the tailgate is open, and the light is going to look like your silhouette.
Also, notice that when you turn your ignition on, malfunction indicator light, which says service engine soon, just came on. So what does that mean? It means that there's a computer in this car that monitors the operation of your fuel, ignition and emission controls. So this light's supposed to be on when the ignition is on only, as a check that it works. So if it didn't come on, that would be a problem, and it would mean that it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work and something goes wrong with your engine, you wouldn't know. So this light should disappear when you start the engine. So let's start the engine. And the light disappeared correctly.
Putting the emergency brake on will trigger a brake indicator lamp on your dash. Press the emergency brake pedal again to release it. When you turn the ignition on, indicator lights briefly come on to check some of the components of the car. The red flashing airbag indicator light checks for electrical malfunctions. It should go out in a few seconds. If it wouldn't, it would mean there is a problem with the airbag. ABS indicator light stays on for 3 seconds when you start the engine. If this light would not come on, it needs to be fixed so it can alert of any potential brake trouble. If this light would flash when you drive, it would mean that the ABS stopped working and there is a problem with the brakes. If this light would come on while you drive and if it isn't flashing, and the brake indicator light isn't on along with it, then it would mean that the ABS quit working but the brakes still work. The brake light can also come on if there is an issue with one of the 2 hydraulic brake systems. It should also come on briefly when the engine is started as a check. And of course, it comes on when you press the emergency brake.
Your ignition here has 4 positions. If you put your key in, and then if you push it in and turn it like this, then you get your accessory position on and you can turn your radio on. And then the next position is the lock position. See, now you can remove your key, and that's the only position. It actually says right here lock. And then when you turn your steering wheel in this position, it gets locked. So then to unlock it, you put your key in and then you put it into the off position. The off position, nothing happens except that you can turn your steering wheel.
What it does is that it allows you to push your car, for example, if you have to, or tow it maybe. And then the next position is the run position. In the run position, all of your accessories, electrical accessories, come on, and you can turn your radio again. And then the last position is the start engine position. So once you do that, the ignition key comes back to the run position. And that's it. Take a look how nicely the dash looks like with all the lights on. And the center console as well. All the lights. And you can adjust them with this button right in here. Intensity increases or decreases. Beautiful. And of course, if you press this button up, see, all those lights come on. One for the driver, one for the passenger there. Those two lights came on. And also on the ceiling, two lights came on. And here's a light also if somebody opened this door, right? Then they see the stepping. They see where they're getting, so they're not gonna trip. But if they would, you would get a good laugh. The two lights on the lift gate illuminate the trunk space very well. The car is entirely illuminated. See? When you press this button, you are turning on your parking lights with your side marker light, your tail light, and your instrument panel light. When you push this button up, your fog lights turn on. This is your headlights button. Here is how you turn the high beam on. Notice that the high beam also turns off your fog lights. The hitch and the LED bar are of course custom. To put your emergency lights on, just push this button. To turn off your emergency lights, pull this cone.
Fog lights.
Headlights.
Fog lights.
Headlights.
High beam.
If you try to leave your car with your lights on, expect appropriate warning. Turn off your lights. If you try to leave your car with your keys in your ignition, also expect appropriate warning. Take your keys out. Now you can leave. So this Oldsmobile Silhouette is supplied with a roof rack, a luggage rack. You can put your luggages in here.
This luggage carrier is adjustable to accommodate the size of your luggage, and it also comes with the rubber strips to protect your roof from scratches.
This roof rack was available as standard with every Oldsmobile Silhouette
Since 1994.
But interestingly, it was an extra option for which you had to pay with the Pontiac Sport and the Chevy Lumina APV. So if you wanted to adjust this luggage carrier here, you could very easily by loosening up the knobs on each side of this luggage carrier here, and also loosening up the tie loops right in here to tie up your luggage as well.
If adjustments are needed, go ahead and loosen up the tie downs for the luggage carrier and the tie down loops. Do it on both sides. Go ahead and shift the luggage rack tie down loops and the luggage rack rail. If you are doing it by yourself, shift it just a little bit at each side until you achieve the desired position to accommodate your luggage. And then do it on the other side. Tie down the luggage rack rail and the tie down loop once you're done adjusting the position of the rail. Then go to the other side and do the same. Once you're done using the roof rack, you may want to shift the rails back to their original positions. Once you do, tie them down well using your fingers. Use your fingers to tie down the luggage rack rails and the tie down loops. Otherwise, they can get loose while you drive and you can lose them.
You can adjust your front luggage roof rack in the same way as you can the one on the back.
Each front seat has a foldable armrest should you want to chill while you drive.
The front seats are supplied with adjustable headrests that could be easily adjusted for your comfort.
As for the driver's chair adjustments,
They are located right in here. You have several options to move the chair forward and back. You can lift the back of the chair up and down. You can lift the front of the chair up and down.
both front seats have a knob allowing to recline the backrest and then bring it back forward. Use this lever to shift the passenger's chair
Back or forward. So what do we have on the back here?
The first thing you're going to notice are the 3 separate seats.
Take a look how comfortable and nice this is. It truly is.
You also have this
Light in here available for your convenience should you be entering this car at night. But if you come in here, then I will tell you that the comfort in here is really nice. And the space is also really nice. I am only 5'7", that's true. But if you were 6'2", 6'5", you would definitely sit here comfortably. And what's more interesting is, because this car doesn't have the center console, you could easily just jump right to the front And here I am, sitting right at the front, also having plenty of space for my legs, for my head. So if I come back in here, on the back here, you will notice you just have little hangers for a jacket if you wanted to put one here. So you also have these pockets in here if you wanted to put something there. There's a complimentary carpet in here to protect your actual carpet, and a little storage compartment right in there should you need to hide anything there. So you also have this ashtray available, and all you have to do is to press it on the side and it opens up. If you need to clean it, all you have to do is to just press it in here and it comes out. And then when you clean it, you can put it back up. You press this little thing and it's back on. Alright? And here you can also open the window. Look, just pull this up and your window is now opened. And you can do this with every window on the back in this car. Of course, everybody has a seat belt available, as it should be. So if you would like to get on the back here, you would use this lever. And look how much space you got to get in. Very spacious. And then you can come in. Okay? And if I go all the way to the left, so me being 5'7", actually, I fit very well. I have still plenty of space for my legs. So if you were 6 feet, you would still fit pretty well. So on the back here, what you have is just a storage compartment here. You can put your drink in here too. And if you want to open this window, you do the same thing. So there you have it. If you wanted to, you could put the seat down.
And then you can fold the 3 chairs in front of you to make a big unified table. And then you can deal on it.
And now look, I have a big table in front of me.
When you're done with the tables, go ahead and fold them back up. When you are ready to get out from the third row seats,
then all you have to do is to pick up your jacket from one of the hooks in here, and then
grab the latch in front of you and get out. You can close your chair like a kid or like an adult like this.
So now if you go to the back,
you will notice a lift gate with a 2-function lock that when turned to the right,
clockwise,
will open the lift gate.
And if you close it, back up,
and if you turn it to the left,
counterclockwise, you just locked it. Now when I turn it to the right, it won't open anymore.
So if you would like to unlock it again, either use the round key, key fob, or press the unlock button on the driver's door.
Opposite of lock, lock would actually lock all of the doors, and never do that with your keys inside. And now you can open it again. And you can also fold these chairs if you wanted to, just like the other ones. All you have to do is to get this latch in here, push the chair, and you have these chairs folded as such. So let's find out how much space we can get by removing all the chairs and how easy it is.
Each seat weighs 34 pounds or 15 kilograms. To remove a chair, just shove your hand under it and grab one of the 2 pull-up bars. Then grab the second one and pull the chair up.
Take a look the amount of space we just got. You could transfer your refrigerator in here, washing machine, dryer, or large heavy items such as mother-in-law. So all the chairs are now removed. Now, if you would get confused about where each chair goes to, you don't have to. All of them are the same, except that they have to be mounted on specific sides of the car. So here you have a sticker, it says right only, so you can put this on either right side of the vehicle. This one here, for example, says left only. You can put it here or there, as it shows on the diagram. Two rods in each bracket, one in here and one in there. This means that you have the option to install this chair a little bit to the front or a little bit to the back to accommodate either a child if you go to the front or an adult if you go to the back, giving the adult more space that way for their legs, right? So this chair, as you can see here, is using the back brackets, which means it's set up for adults. See here and here, but it could be here instead and here.
Let's add the second chair and accommodate it for a child.
So if you have your chair, you want to grab it in the following way. Your hand here and then grab the latch, so you open the latch, see? When you do, put it on the desired bracket or the rods on the bottom. The whole weight of the chair is now pushing it down. Release the rod, as I did. The chair is now latched. And now, just put it back and the chair is in. If you prefer, you can just simply grab this rod, open the latch, put it down.
If you were to install this chair in the front rods, it would look like this.
So now, if I was to sit here, well, I am about as tall as a kid, so I fit. But if you're tall, you probably want this kind of setup.
One of the chairs in the Oldsmobile could be reconfigured, allowing a secure placement of a small child there. It was an option for the model year of 1994 and up, and this model does not come with it.
Because this one is adults only party bus.
If you set up the second row for adults and the third row for children, you may end up with little room for your legs. In this case, make sure that you put people with very skinny legs there or legless creatures.
So there you have it.
If you would like to increase your trunk space without removing the seats, all you will have to do is to fold the third row seats forward. And here is your increased trunk space. Put all the groceries you want in here.
So the first generation of the Oldsmobile Silhouette has a couple of delicate spots. For example, the door handles. So if you pull for this handle and the door doesn't quite open easily, you're better off not to just jerk it and try to get it open. Don't do that. It's not going to work. You can actually break it. I've seen a lot of examples of this vehicle that are broken that way. So all I usually do is to grab it by the handle here, and then at this end right in here,
That is if the door doesn't open easily.
see, the door simply opens without any problems. And once you open the door is locked, so it will not budge forward unless you grab the door handle and push it forward. So while you inside here and you would like to leave, the same applies. Don't just jerk it, because I've seen those broken. Oftentimes you don't want to break it, so gently push it, and you might use your elbow to push the door open, and the door will easily come out. As for the other doors here, these door handles tend to break off rather easily too if you are rough on them. So for example, if it will happen to you that you are in the car and say the door is locked and you want to get out and it doesn't open, you don't know why, and you just keep pulling and pulling, you can break it off. I've seen examples with this broken off. So what I like to do is just to pull and just push it, and the door opens. Now, why am I mentioning it? Because if you break this, it's quite hard to replace it. Once, it's hard to find this part. Two, it is riveted, which means you're gonna have to drill through the rivets to get them out of there. And then once you get the new part, you have to disassemble this whole panel in order to install and rivet the new door handle. So be careful. Another rather gentle spot in this car is this door handle here. So it has a tendency to break if you are pulling hard on it or slamming your door. There are two screws in here that sit in plastic housings, and if you slam your door or pull really hard, you can break them. If you break them, this whole panel here and that handle becomes loose and prone to actually getting completely pulled off if you keep on slamming your door. So be gentle on it. Just use it to close the door, not slam the door, and then it will last you forever. Same thing applies to these handles. They could be easily broken, so don't jam and pull hard. Just gentle pull, and the door will open very nicely, I promise. Same thing here on the back. These are also rather easy to be broken if you are rough on them. So remember, this is just to open your door, not to really pull your door up. So all you have to do is to just twist it to clockwise rotation. You heard the click. You grab the door from this location here, and then you're opening it up.
If you found one of these vents somewhere, chances are the liftgate handle is already broken off. It has been rather a weak spot, and the replacement parts may not always be easy to find. And if this handle is broken off, it will be rather a hard time to open the liftgate back up.
If you closed the liftgate, and if it didn't latch in here, because in my case I didn't use enough force, just go ahead and push it like this. And it latched here, and it latched here. Or when you close it next time, just give it a slightly stronger push, that's all.
This is the hood release lever. Pull it to open the hood. Take a look how far the hood is from the driver's position.
Once you open the hood up, you have your hood prop right in here. So put it into the hole here, and then once it's suspended, you also get this light in here that, if you have to open the hood at night, will illuminate your engine. And this is how the engine is lit up, with the little light here. So what do we have in here? Here's our ignition, alternator, of course your engine, and here is your radiator. Here's where you refuel the radiator. Here's the radiator cap. Here's the radiator hose. Here is the air filter. Washer fluid comes in here. Right over there is your ABS, and here is your brake fluid
Reservoir.
and here's your steering wheel fluid there. And your battery is right here. If you wonder where your oil filter is, then it is located all the way down there. That's it. And you may wonder how to get to it. So you get to it through turning your steering wheel all the way to the right, and then removing this plastic cover with those two screws, and then that's where your oil filter is, right there. So then when the time comes, you can change it. Your transmission fluid
Dipstick.
which is where you can check the amount of it, is right in here. And your engine oil
Dipstick.
is right in here. Here you can add some engine oil.
For the model year of 1992, GM started adding the 3800 engine, which is what this is, and a 4-gear transmission. It was a great upgrade compared to the 3100 engine with the 3-gear transmission. The 3800 engine is known for its reliability, and it greatly improved the power over the 3100 version.
That's that.
Let's take a look at the engine from underneath, and while at it, let's also see the underbody of this van. This is where the engine's oil pan is with the oil drain plug. This is the transaxle's oil pan. There is no drain plug here, so to change the oil you would have to remove the 20 bolts that hold this pan. You would also need a new gasket. It's a messy job as the oil could leak from any edge of the pan. Also, if you wonder why it's called transaxle and not transmission, then it is because while transmission changes gears depending on a car's speed, the transaxle combines the mentioned transmission along with the axles and a differential mechanism into one integrated assembly. If you would ever like to look under the skirt of your car, then you could use car ramps like these.
On the driver's side right here is also where you put your gas in. So you open this little door and you remove
the gas cap.
You can put it in here if you choose so you don't lose it. And then this gas tank takes 20 US gallons.
And whenever your Oldsmobile gets hungry for gas, it will let you know.
Who is that big slossy?
Once you open the lift gate, then you have some trunk space available. And here on each side you have those compartments. And you can open those and you can store some stuff in there if you want to. Now here you have this button, right? If you press on it, and in there, as you see, you have a 12-volt power outlet that goes all the way up to 20 amps. Well thought. And then on this side here, you would have your spare tire kit. Open this up.
Undo the bracket nut. Here is the bracket. It comes with unattached instructions on how to change a tire. Here is the jack. Pull it up and then out. Here is your lug nut wrench.
And lastly, a wrench that is needed to remove the spare tire through this hole right in there. So if you're ever in need of using the jack, all you would have to know is that you put it where it says jack here. So once you remove all of your tools, now you're going to need those two, the wrench and this piece here. All you have to do now is to put it inside this hole
and crank it counterclockwise to lower down the spare wheel.
Okay. Then you go under the car here. Then twist this through the hole, and then once you did,
you can remove the spare tire.
And here is your spare tire. So this one's supposed to be inflated to 60 psi.
To put the spare wheel back, put the mounting bracket right through the wheel. Next, crank it back up in the clockwise direction. If you have a trailer hitch, your spare tire can get stuck on it. If that's the case, just lower the tire again, push it forward, and then crank it back up.
Now it is coming into correct position.
This click indicates that you're done cranking and the tire is secure.
With this type of work, you can be sure your hands will get dirty, like mine did.
Put the spare tire release wrench back. Put the lug nut wrench back.
Just like that. Next, take your jack, put it in there. Just like that.
Put the bracket in and tighten it with the nut.
And then your instruction, and shift it in the following way.
Put the cover on and make sure that these two grooves are in these two holes.
Push it down and then put your finger here on the latch, open it up, and that's it. If you wonder what is the appropriate pressure tire in your Oldsmobile, then you can find it on the sticker on the side of the driver's door. It says right here, front 35 psi and rear 35 psi.
Throughout my ownership of this car, I have gathered a great deal of spare parts. I found most of them in salvage yards, and they could prove very useful should I ever need to replace anything. The great thing about these parts is that GM manufactured a lot of cars that used exactly the same parts. Many of them used the same 3800 engine, or the same brake drums and brake drum backing plates. Therefore, many parts were interchangeable between many GM's vehicles. For example, here is a list of GM vehicles that share the same drum and drum backing plate.
And you have got all of the 5 seats in here, except the driver's and the front passenger chair. You have your side windows moldings. Luggage racks are right in here too. This is the mechanism that is used to open the side door. That's all of the windows, gaskets, seals. And here you have all 4 speakers, tail lights, mirrors, the windows regulators, and the jack with the wrenches, original electric seat adjustment,
Lights switch, wiper switch, reverse light, door handle trim,
windows, and the horn button.
side engine cover, emergency brake pedal,
Take a guess what this is. Well, it's here. Radio, cassette tape radio, the tape player,
climate control,
all the seat belts, air vents, cigarette lighter port, some other ports, a door handle, a stoplight.
license plate light,
This is your lock, the door locks.
engine oil cap, gas door and the gas cap,
Reverse mirror. So that's in here. Some more parts, more door locks, they're in here, and a whole bunch of tiny miscellaneous parts. Now these themselves were about 20 or 30 bucks. Those are the pins that you would use whenever you put the moldings on your car. I got a whole back of them. I think they're 200 or so.
coolant reservoir cap,
Door handle, valuable piece, the tailgate light. Here you have ignition, some other pieces.
tons of screws, bolts, washers, nuts, clips, and more.
Specific bolt, and you can find it.
These are all of the windows except of the windshield. Here are some more of the spare parts, including the spare wheel, passenger chairs moldings, rubber roof strips for the luggage rack, and covers for the spare tire kit.
Take a look
At this literature,
With these manuals, you will be able to repair,
troubleshoot or fix anything you want on this Oldsmobile like a boss.
these manuals
also apply to Pontiac Transport and Chevrolet Lumina APV.
And are a must-have for any car collector, mechanic, or a hobbyist.
As a cherry on top, here is a laminated copy of the original window sticker of this 1994 Oldsmobile Silhouette. So was this car expensive in 1994? Taking the inflation under consideration, the sticker price of $21,135 in 1994 was equivalent to $39,119.72 in 2021, which was the time this video was recorded. The Silhouette was priced somewhere in the middle compared to the Chrysler and Dodge minivans.